Looking for Madden 22 Ultimate Team coins? AOEAH.com is the cheapest and most reliable coins on the marketplace. Click the link in the description and use coupon code SPORTS for 3% off your order. If you're looking for defensive help in Madden 22, you've come to the right place, because in this video, I'm about to break down an absolutely locked down defense that you can use to win more games. What's up, YouTube? It's Duke back here from Sportsgamerz.com, and we got a great Madden 22 tip video for you guys today. I'm going to break down a new meta defense you're seeing a lot of pros use that's very effective against both the run and the pass. Now, this year, it's a lot of bombs out there. It's a lot of coverage beaters that are really, really difficult to stop. And you have to really be able to run specific adjustments defensively to be able to slow these down. And one formation that does do a great job of this, I feel, is the 2-4-5 odd. Now, this nickel 2-4-5 odd formation, it can be found in many playbooks. Personally, I like running it from the Bucks defensive playbook because you're going to get that, the 3-5 wide, the 2-3-6 will. The 1-4-6, I mean, you got a lot of great options from the Bucks playbook on defense. Now, before we get too much further in the video, I want to remind you guys, look, I do Madden 22 videos on a daily basis. I do tips, news, and gameplay. So if you enjoy my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop us a like, turn your notifications on. If we can get to 300 likes on this video, I will post another fire defensive tip for you guys. So, all that said, this 2-4-5 odd, I've done a lot of videos on it this year, guys. You should know that you definitely need to make sure that your 3-down linemen are effective pass rushers, because that's who we're going to be relying on to get, most of our pressure. Personally, I like to put my best pass rusher as the D tackle. I just feel like he gets more sheds up the middle. And the guy off the edge, he should be a good rusher too, because he will be rushing a good amount of the time. Now, you could put linebackers at the end if you wish. I mean, that's just kind of up to you. Safeties can go in the game at linebacker, especially if you play mud. I'd recommend that, because these guys are going to be, important when playing coverage to get some more speed on the field. So the defense I'm about to show you guys, I use auto flip on with it. I always like to match my nickel corner to the strong side of the offensive formation. So the play I want to look at is going to be the cover 3 cloud. Now, I'm going to show this to you against a lot of the more popular things you see online, and just kind of explain how it works and why I like it. So now I want to start breaking down my adjustments, how I run this defense, and how it works against a lot of the popular stuff. Let's start with bunch tight end, curl flat corner. Now, guys, most of the time people are going to run their bunch, whether they're in bunch or bunch tight end, to the wide side of the field. Especially in bunch tight end, you can run your deep corners to the wide side. Like in this play, they get more room. And obviously, to the short side of the field, you can have crossers and deep posts. Now, with this defense, I like to baseline and press. Now, if I was just to leave this defense the way it is, it's solid, but it has some holes. Let me explain to you what I mean. So, for instance, on a play like this, if someone just ran this combo with the deep corner, you'll see that, it was hard to tell there because we got hit as we threw the ball, so kind of threw a duck. It still caught the ball. But if you're enjoying my YouTube content, I highly recommend you check out Sportsgamerz.com. This is where I post all my premium Madden 22 content. I have eBooks, offensive and defensive schemes, plus I do 4 to 6 premium tips every week in the Madden Vault. This content is available for both current and next gen, so no matter what system you play on, we got you guys covered. Our best offer yet is the Sportsgamerz Madden VIP membership. This gives you access to the entire site, every tip, every ebook, plus the meta reports for only $19.99. I'll post a link to it in the description and the comments. Make sure to check it out for the best tips and content available at the best price anywhere. But basically, this zone over here, it follows the streak way too much, and the corner is wide open. Now, you could user that, but you never want to user that side of the field, because, you have to worry about getting bombed nearly every play from this formation, so you don't really want to have to do that. So the way I like to use this play is a little bit different. So I do baseline and press, and the most important adjustment to do is on this bunch side of the field, you're going to want to put your corner in an outside quarter zone. Now this applies to bunch tight end, tight, like any of these types of formations where people run the deep corners and crossers. You always want the guy on the sides where they're running mostly the deep corners, so like the bunch side really, in the quartered zone, because when you baseline press him from the quartered zone, he's going to play it. Even the corners that, there is like a very few small exceptions in this game, but most of the very common corners people run, he's gonna when he baseline press against these bunch formations, he's gonna defend that. So I'll show you guys how it works now. Look at the difference. So same play, this time we just put that guy in a quarter deep zone. So as you guys can see, he's right there, and we're able to click on and make a pick. Like, they're not gonna be able to throw that. Now, there are other adjustments I make to this play though. So again, we baseline press and put the guy on the bunch side in the quarter zone. Now I want you guys to know we have 2 hook curls, by default a curl flat and a hard flat. Now, normally what I do is I zone drop these zones. So a typical thing I'll do against especially a bunch or a bunch shot user, or really anything to be quite honest, is I'll put my flats on 30 and my curl flats on 5. So that way, you know, I have right here this hard flat. It's really playing at 30. It could be a cloud, soft spot, whatever. It's playing at 30, right? So I'm not too worried on that side of the field about deeper routes. On this side of the field, I'm not really either, because again, I know the baseline press quarter zone takes it away well. And then I have the curl flat underneath, and that leaves me as options. Like, I could zone drop my hooks if I want, or what I could do is put this guy in a curl flat. So now I basically have someone at 30, the flat, and then the curl flat at 5, and then I play the middle of the field myself. But, you know, it all depends upon their route combos. Like, if they're attacking the flat, then yeah, that's smart to do. But if they're not, you know, you can leave more defenders over the middle field. But I do rush 4 because I don't like to rush 3 on this year's game. It's just, you know, they can get too much time. So another thing from this formation, obviously, is PA boot over. Now, you know, people throw the bomb, they'll throw the crosser, whatever. So here's just something very simple people do for the bomb. Now, one thing I'll tell you is this does a pretty good job against the bomb by itself because, I mean, look, you can bomb anything. This play bombs everything. I'm just going to be blunt. It bombs everything. You know, there's stupid little things you can do, you know, to make it a little harder. But bottom line is, if you have the time, pretty much any defense will get bombed at this point with how fast receivers are. And then the Derrick Henrys and, you know, Russell Wilsons of the world is rolling out on every defense and throwing laser beams across their body. It's just stupid. But this defense does... what it does is it takes longer for the bomb to get open, and if you have a good 4-man pass rush, hopefully they just don't have that time. Now, with that said, though, with my user, I'm watching for bombs. So, like, if I see a bomb coming, I'm like, oh, you know, I'm just going to go guard it just in case. But as you guys can see there, what I was saying is most of the time this defense doesn't even give the time for the bomb to even develop. By rushing, you know, a good 4-man rush, you know. Now, obviously, if you have no good pass rushers, it might be a little more difficult. But, you know, if you have some good pass rushers, they probably won't even have time because they're going to have to wait for him to run past his safety, which, you know, people put him in all sorts of different zones. And, like, no matter what you do, essentially, if they have the time, he's running past him. I don't care. I've seen every adjustment there is. And, yeah, I mean, some are harder to bomb than others, but... bottom line is you at the time, he's gonna get open. So I watched for him, and at the end of the day, just as I said, they didn't have time for that. Now, you can see what I'm talking about, like everything else is covered. So that's why I like this defense, because that's really, if I see something like that, that's all I have to look out for. So it does a really good job. And if they just want to run the standard, you know, regular PA boot over, where they just, you know, block the guy and just, you know, roll out like crazy, I mean, that's super easy to stop for us, because all we have to do, now, we could contain if we want. That's another thing you can do if they're rolling out like crazy. There's ways to make it so the contain is very hard to block. But really, all I have to do if they're doing that is just go watch the crosser myself. You know what I mean? Because if they're doing the crosser setup, they can't really bomb me too well because there's no streak. Right? Makes sense? So there's that. Now, the other thing about this, I'm sure you guys are going to wonder, is how to stop the run. And I've kind of shown this before, but it's just, you user, you have options. Some people like to just stand over here and try to disengage. I don't like standing over the O-lineman and disengaging because it's too inconsistent. And if you get blocked good, you could give up a touchdown. So what I do, and I've shown this before, but people always ask me every video, so I guess I'll show it again, is you kind of just stand over in this spot. And at the snap, kind of just run right in. And at that point, you can click off. You know, if you want to click off, you can click off. Or you can just go for the conservative type tackle. I would not try to hit stick. that can result in big runs. Now, just to show you guys what I mean, this is good defense for other form. I mean, it's not just bunch tight end. This is just good defense, period. So let's go against another one of the metas. Let's look at bunch. So you guys know, like, bunch is a lot of similar things. Like bunch trail, that's a very, very common play. So if I go ahead and basically do the same adjustments to where I quarter the guy on the bunch side, just like this, and I watch the middle of the field myself, like, they're gonna be kind of locked. You know what I mean? So a lot of things, something people will do is just go ahead and set up like this. At this point, honestly, I'm not even worried about the bomb. This bunch trail bomb is good, but as you guys can see here, they're not really gonna have the time for that. Now, I will say something you have to watch out for when they're in bunch is if they motion a receiver over on a streak. If you see that, they're going all out for the bomb. So, like, if I see this guy coming over here, I'm like, oh, okay. Now they're really trying to bomb me, because when they do this, the bomb definitely gets more open. So if I see that, because it makes the safety run more towards the middle of the field, if I see that, that's kind of when I'm hauling ass, like I was in bunch tight end, to go guard the bomb. Because if I see that motion streak, I already know what time it is, okay? Very, very important to just... one of the biggest things about being good on defense is having route recognition, kind of seeing the routes and knowing what you need, like at the beginning of the play, seeing the routes, seeing how they develop, and knowing what you need to guard with your user. Very, very important. So you see, I see that. You guys can see. Look how the safety's running into the middle of the field. He wasn't really doing that last play, but because I knew that was going to happen, I was going to guard that myself. And once again, as you've seen every play so far, when they're trying to do long developing routes, they are getting sacked super, super fast. Now, the other thing you do want to look out for, and this is it's just the seams, right? The seams. When someone is in bunch, you have to watch the seams. So, one of the more common plays is this mesh spot. So, if I'm running this against bunch, and this is kind of why I like to be on the running back side, I already know that's kind of like my responsibility, right? Like, I have got to guard that. So, if I see this coming, what I'm going to do is very, very simple. I'm going to go guard the running back, because, like, I'm going to be real with you. The running back on this play, man, and these types of wheels, I've yet to see a coverage adjustment that consistently stops it. I've seen luck, but if someone is good at it, it's getting open. Now, the tight end is still really tough, but I feel like the hook zones can stop it, and if all else fails, manning up the tight end out of zone is a way better way to deal with it than the running back. The running back, like, you cannot, I mean, see, that's pretty open. You got to under pressure and accurate, but if you suspect that's coming, again, all you got to really do, I just man this guy up. Bam. Every adjustment otherwise is the same, and then I can still just guard the running back myself. Now, if I really, really, really am worried about it, you could even put this guy that's in the curl flat, into a hook zone. Now, obviously, if you do that, there's no flat over there. So if they wanted to check it down to the flat, they probably would be able to. However, you already know most of these robots in this game, they can't make reads. They just are almost predetermined to throw on a play like this to one of the seams. So it is a very, very, very good defense at taking away the meta, the most common stuff people like to do. Now, this formation has the pinch 2 blitz. The pinch 2 blitz, I've shown you guys how to run it, very effective. So if you want to mix in the pinch 2 blitz with this coverage and also some cover 4 looks, I would highly recommend doing that to make your defense even better, so that the offense doesn't know, hey, is he blitzing or playing coverage? That's going to make your defense play better. Hope you guys enjoyed this tip. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Until next time, it's Duke, and I'm out of here.